For the last 750 days, I have arted for at least 1 hour every single day on live stream. During that time, I made good progression. I've sold works all around the world, and yet I'm not at a spot where I thought I would be. I might be in a bit better of a place. So I was on this quest to become an artist. I've always loved making stuff. I just like making stuff. If I could make stuff as my job, I think that would be pretty cool. I would like to make some really cool things. And in 2021, I found out about these painting schools, and I've done a whole bunch of things in my life, and I thought I had a very good skill set, and that I would also like doing it, that if I put the time in, that eventually I could be really good at that craft and all the things that go into it. And so I was excited, and I kind of started to walk down this path, and my original goal was I was going to make 100 paintings and kind of see where I got to. I thought it would probably take around 3 years. And I knew that was basically going to be like the beginning of trying to, I guess, make a career out of it. I wasn't expecting to have a fully formed career. I was just expecting to know. To know if at least I should keep on going or if I should do something else. I must have been about a year into it, and I really wasn't producing as much as I thought I would. I kept waiting for uninterrupted blocks of time where I could work on my stuff, but what actually happened is I just kicked that can down the road. And so, as a commitment to myself that I was being serious, I decided that I was going to make art for 1 hour every single day on live stream. There would often be days where I would do more than that, but the minimum requirement was 1 hour every single day on live stream. I called the show Making Art Every Day Until I Break, because the day that I broke was going to be for a reason of will, and I just wasn't planning on doing that. I knew that I was going to do most every day for the next 3 years. That's kind of what I had originally thought, but just pushing it up to every day didn't seem that much more excessive. Like, I think that if I'm serious about this, I can find and make the time for that to happen. Even if I go on vacation, even if stuff happens, I can still find the time to do 1 hour to work towards my future every single day. It wasn't my intention, but soon after I started, I kind of had this 1,000 days in my head. And right now I'm at 750. You know, and it's been kind of a magical little journey, as things tend to go. Sometimes the treasure that you're seeking is not the treasure that you get, and that's a bit of where I find myself right now. About a year ago, I signed up for an online atelier. I knew that I was probably going to be seeking education at some point. I'm mostly self-taught, but I don't wear that as a badge of honor. I'm not tied to that. I think that where you get information is super important, and that if you can find someone that's a good fit for you and you're a good fit for them, I think that you can make some magic happen. And so I was always kind of on the lookout for that, but just at the time when I first started, I didn't have the resources to be able to go all in time-wise or financially onto somewhere, and I didn't have time or energy or money to move. So my options were limited. I did the best that I could, and I just kept pressing forward every single day. There's a lot of good things that happen when you make a commitment and stick to it. I think doing something like that daily for a lot of people would be overwhelming. For me, I'm not saying this to be braggadocio, but it hasn't been an issue at all. It hasn't. I don't know. I just was showing up for myself. I made a commitment to doing it, and I was going to see that commitment through. The only way I wasn't going to show up is if I was in the hospital, if I got in a car accident. I wasn't just going to forget, and I wasn't going to succumb to the feeling of not wanting to do it that day. There was definitely some days that I had bad days, and I would have liked to have taken a break, but I think that showing up and knowing that you're resilient enough to continually show up and to honor the commitments that you're making yourself, I think those are important traits and qualities that I want to see in myself. I have dreams, and I would like to put great works out into the world as best that I can, and that's only going to come. I feel that's only going to come if I work extremely hard and diligently at it. And even then, I'm still going to need a big element of luck. But one thing that I don't think I'll be able to live with is knowing that I didn't try at all, that I had these thoughts, that I believed in myself, like I believe in myself, and that I didn't see it through. I never looked at the daily live stream as a burden. I just looked at it as an opportunity to improve and an opportunity to chase the things that I want to do with my life and in my life. And I just feel so blessed lately that I get to do that. I've done things before, but I've done them for the wrong reasons. And I don't even mean that they were malicious reasons, but for some reason, I just knew that I was doing it for external validation. And this time, this whole journey project, I guess if you want to call it that, I don't know. This doesn't feel like just a 2-year challenge to me. This doesn't feel like a 1,000-day challenge to me. As much as it kind of was a little bit at the beginning, this just kind of feels a little bit intrinsically a part of who I am. There's a concept in Greek philosophy called arete, and it's to live up to the excellence that's in oneself. So a bird would have arete if it was free to fly around. A horse would have arete if it was free to eat grass, run in the fields, maybe win some races if it was a racehorse. But what it's saying is that there's some natural thing that's within you, some natural oneness that is yourself, and it's your job to bring that expression out. And I feel that me pursuing this craft and making paintings and doing all of this every single day is just a little bit of intrinsically of who I am. It's a good fit for my temperament, for my personality. And I feel that I'm living up to the excellence that is in myself. The goalposts have certainly shifted over the last 2 years, and my life has changed considerably. I feel that I'm at such a good place right now, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of it, just all of it, that I'm feeling that I'm just starting fresh on everything, unencumbered by anything that I've done in the past. I don't have a lot of things that are holding me back anymore, or that I feel are dragging me down. I've let a lot of things go. And overall, I'm just feeling really blessed to be on the journey. Someone recently asked me what my goal was and if I'm trying to do this as a career. And my answer kind of surprised me when it came out of my mouth, because I said, I'm just trying to make dope shit. And if I have a career, that would be amazing. I would like that. But I'm just trying to make dope shit. And if it doesn't happen for me, if that doesn't happen for me, I feel content with where I'm at in my life right now. And I don't need that. I'm going to try. I'm going to try, and I'm going to work very hard to make that happen. But if it doesn't, I'll accept it gracefully. Because my actual goal is I just want to be able to do the things. I just like making things. I like making things, and I like having the finished product. I like having all the skills to be able to do it again. I like taking people out into my shop when they don't even know I can draw. They don't even know I can paint. And I open it up and I bring them inside, and there's just this whole room filled with stuff. I had one lady cry when she walked in there because she was just kind of overwhelmed by it all. I don't think she just expected it all to be there. She really liked the paintings. It was really cute. I'm not looking at my work right now as professional work. I'm just looking at it as student work that I'm selling to help pay for my education. The last painting that I sold a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to spend all that money on paint over the winter. And so it's really fun and kind of crazy just how life works out and how it all shakes out. Yeah, when I first started, I didn't know anything. I can't believe how blindly naive that I was to even think that I could do it. And now I'm in a spot where it seems a lot more attainable than it was before. You kind of go through there's some valleys, there's some dips in your confidence when you first start, because it feels like you're such a long way from where, but it's like, you know that you can do this. There's an Ira Glass quote, and it's something along the lines of, part of what makes you good at art is that you have good taste, but you can't basically fulfill on that taste yet. I'm paraphrasing it. But as you gain skills and as you gain experience, you close the distance on that, and soon you can make stuff that's closer to the taste that is inside of you. You get closer to having the skills. If you work at your craft, you get closer to having the skills that you need to execute on those dreams. But there's definitely some big dips at the beginning when you question everything, and it feels like you're just continuously getting sent back to start. But you scratch and you claw your way forward and just relentlessly show up day after day after day. And eventually, the resilience of you doing that starts to beat down the walls. If we're sticking to the dip analogy, you start to walk up that hill. And when you're at the bottom of it, it just seems so incredibly daunting and so far away from where you want to be. But along the way, you meet friends and allies and people that help you along the way. And suddenly the climb doesn't seem so lonely, I guess, anymore. And little bits of encouragement, the little wins along the way, and suddenly you find yourself a lot higher up than you were at the beginning. And you can recognize that. You can see how you can. It's still a long distance from where you want to be, but you can definitely know that you've made progress. And that's been a really cool thing lately. Is that I've felt like I've been noticing the progress pretty explicitly in my drawing and more accurate. I can notice and assess problems that are wrong quicker. I can see specific things in my old work that I don't know anymore. My entire perception of how I'm perceiving my art has changed. The things that I can do with my hands have changed. And through that steady march forward, every single part of my life has been pulled up with it. Because that's kind of the funny thing about honoring the things that you say that you're going to do, is that it gives you more confidence to say more things, to do more things. So if you say that I'm going to work out, I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to do this, you deliver on that stuff. And when other people see that you're delivering on that stuff, it makes you super dependable if they ever need something. And I just think like a bunch of dependable people is how you have a good community. It's how you're good for yourself, but it's how you're good for your community too. And like all of that put together is just, I think, a kind of a recipe to have a good life. So listen, I'm not saying that making art is making me a better person, but I think it is. I think it is in those respects. I don't think I'm better because I make the art, or that there's like some pretentious, like I have anything to say, or that, there's like some pretentious ideal that I'm aspiring to, and if I reach that ideal, that I'll be a good person. But I think that the daily actions of showing up for myself and being dependable and trying to continuously improve and just become the best that I can be and see the excellence that is in myself. I think that if we all do that, or if you do that for yourself, selfishly do that for yourself, and show up and still try to maintain your good relationships and be a good member of your community, like, I think that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I kind of think that's how we change the world, Not to get too hippie, foo-foo-y, woo-woo-y. There's a novel I really like named Musashi, and it's about this Japanese swordsman who goes around Japan murdering everyone. He just fights everyone and tries to become the best swordsman he can. And there's this concept that he's just chasing excellence in basically swordsmanship, but in everything that he does. And he's really fulfilling his arete. It's not talked about in the book, the arete thing, but it's it's the same idea. A good idea is going to repeat across multiple cultures. And he says something, the actual Musashi said something along the way of like, once you see the way you see it in all things. And I think that having the practice of me showing up every day for my art and showing up for myself and trying to be better and trying to be that better person, I think it reaches its tendrils into everything that you do. But I just really love that idea, and I think it's a beautiful idea to live your life for. And I don't think that it has to, and I don't think you have to pursue a craft like I have. My whatever wiring I have going on in my brain, that is just kind of what my reward system, I guess, deals with. I think that there's some of us who are supposed to be craftsmen or making things. Not everybody has to be that. Some people need to be mothers. Some people need to be carers. Some people need to be chefs, Whatever it is, though, whatever people's kind of callings are, I guess. Every 250 days, I like to do a little recap video. So I've done one at 250, one at 500, one at 750. I'll do one at 1,000. If we keep on going after that, I'll keep on doing them. But something that the last 250 days has taught me is that it's okay to feel like you're starting over. Like maybe that concept that I talked about a little bit earlier, maybe that's not such a bad thing. Because in the last 250 days, I've left a lot of things behind mentally, physically. I had a bunch of outstanding projects and I got them all done. I built this really cool pochade box for outdoor plein air painting. For those of you that don't know, that means I built a box that holds all my paint so I can go paint outside. And then I also built this really cool drawing box where I can take stuff with me, and I've been using that quite a bit. I used it on a painting workshop that I went to, and then I also have just been using it just to go to Starbucks and draw for an hour, and it's nice. I get out of my studio, get out of my tiny house studio, and go have a coffee and draw, and I can do it between working at a sales job, and it's really cool and really great, and I'm so grateful to have it. And I'm getting ready to do a big round of upgrades on my house. Not a big round of upgrades. I'm going to move some stuff. My whole house has changed. I've got 2 art stations now. I've got one for doing my live streams. I got one for doing my schoolwork. I put this really cool covered porch on the back of my house where I have a little workshop basically. And it's just this idea of continuous improvement. I think the Japanese call it kaizen. Huh? But this idea of continuous improvement, that just hacking away at it and just doing the daily thing it's been so tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. It's just been a steady rhythm, the steady march of time forward. I just knew that every single day that I was going to show up and do that, and between, sometimes I think about what I'm going to do between, whether that's work on my own stuff, work on schoolwork, go to work. Occasionally I'll go and hang out with friends, but I've been pretty serious about my own stuff. I've been pretty selfish with my time over the last couple of years, and I don't think that's a negative thing. I don't think that I could have got to where I'm at if I hadn't been selfish with my time. And I think that if I'm going to walk down this path of trying to do this, that I can't let it take forever. I think that's disrespectful to the excellence that's within me to do. I want to see that out, but it's only going to come after a lot of focused work and effort to get better at my craft and to just try to be the best man that I can be. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have a plan for this video other than just saying that I was just incredibly grateful for the opportunity to get to play the game. And I've been reflecting on that because I've been feeling really good lately. And it's just like sometimes it takes a lot for all of those daily things, all those little small good choices to start adding up. But once they do, it's a cumulative, it's a cumulative, it's a cumulative effect. It's a snowball effect that really builds momentum. And once you got that once you got that velocity, you're not unstoppable, but it's a lot harder to stop you, and it's a lot harder to put you down. And I kind of feel that right now is the time when I'm starting to gain a little bit of momentum, a little bit of velocity. I don't really care at all how many viewers I get on the live stream, but there has been people that have showed up every single day, and it's extremely nice to hear from everyone. And I'm super grateful for everybody that stops in and says hi. There's certain people that show up just about daily. There's certain people that show up monthly, stop in, say hi, and there's certain people that pop in every couple months just check in and see how I'm doing. And there's lots of people that don't say anything at all, but I'm incredibly grateful for everyone and for their attention, for stopping in and just being kind, I guess. Yeah, being kind. It's just, yeah, I'm just really grateful for everything right now. And this is not the end. And I don't know what the future holds for me. I'm just going to keep on doing my thing. I'm just feeling good lately. And yeah, I wrote down that I'm just grateful for the opportunity, for the chance to play the game. And I don't have a better way to end this video than that. I'll do another recap in like 250 days. I'll see you at 1,000.